Tonight, a nationwide recall from Starbucks. We've got news you need to know about a product that could be a choking hazard. A plane crashes in rural Washington, killing everyone on board.
She was doing what she loved, and we're gonna miss her more than anything.
Why family members say an extreme sport is not to blame for their deaths. People all across the state watched a documentary tonight on the devastation caused by meth. Tonight, we watch Crystal Darkness alongside parents and teens. But first, a man exposes himself to a woman working at a coffee shop.
And at that moment, she looked down. He had his shirt up and his pants down, and he was exposing himself.
Now police want your help tracking down the suspect. The story's first on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Wayne Garcia. Shauna has the night off. First on Fox tonight, Forest Grove police are searching for the man who gave quite a jolt to a coffee stand worker by exposing himself at the drive-up window. Tonight, that young woman is traumatized. The flasher's still on the run, and the coffee stand owner plans to take action. KPTV's Kevin Kawari joins us live from Forest Grove now with the story you'll see only on 12.
Well, Wayne, the man walked right up to this coffee stand Saturday night, and it may sound strange, but witnesses say he was carrying a bottle of bleach and a bag from Safeway. He was here for several minutes, and then things got obscene. Workers believe there is a good chance someone saw that man before or after the attack. At night, business slows down, but there are still customers looking for a quick jolt. While most file into this Forest Grove coffee stand on four wheels, some walk up to the window, and that's exactly what happened Saturday night.
The guy asked for a drink. She made his drink. He would leave, and then he came back, and he said, can I get a punch card? She punched him up a card, give him a punch card, come back, can I get a couple napkins?
Owner LeGrand Davis says the man kept leaving the window but would come back and ask the young woman who was working alone different questions. After several minutes of strange behavior, the man exposed himself.
He came up and he said, well, do you know the direction of this street? Had his hands up pointing. And at that moment, she looked down. He had his shirt up and his pants down.
The customer who was on the other side of the stand called 911. Other regulars say they feel for the young woman working that night.
They're here almost every night by themselves, or just one girl usually, and they're girls. That's even more scary.
I'm a father of two young adult girls, so that obviously concerns me in terms of their safety. Things happen anywhere, anytime sometimes.
Witnesses believe the man walked up Pacific Avenue, and they say he was carrying a Safeway bag and a bottle of bleach. They believe the man may have been at this nearby Safeway before the attack. The owner of the coffee stand says he is definitely going to make some changes.
Now, I need to up my level and do whatever I need to do, whether it's video surveillance or, how much ever it costs, I need to get it taken care of, because that freaks me out.
And here now is a look at the description of the man. Police tell us he was white, described as probably in his 40s, wearing a blue puffy jacket, a dark knit cap, dark colored uniform pants is what they're calling him. He had glasses on, was about 5'10", thin, and had scruffy facial hair. If you have any information on this suspect or might have seen him before or after the attack, you're asked to call the Forest Grove Police Department. Live in Forest Grove tonight, Kevin Kawari, the 10 o'clock news.
Another of Fox 12's Most Wanted is accused of raping a 15-year-old girl at a farm labor camp in Cornelius. Washington County deputies are trying to track down Jose Francisco. They say the attack happened back in June of 2005. Now, deputies say that Francisco admitted to the rape during phone calls he made from jail while facing an unrelated charge. He's described as 5'4", 150 pounds. If you know where he is tonight, call 911. The owner of a Vancouver cheer academy accused of having sex with one of his past students will have his day in court. 28-year-old Neil Finger pleaded not guilty today to 2 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor and 1 count of tampering with a witness. Police arrested Finger last month. According to court documents, the now 17-year-old told investigators they had sex at his apartment back in May. She was 16 at the time of the suspected contact, which is old enough for consent in Washington. So prosecutors filed charges because the girl was a student of Finger's, not because of her age. Finger's trial is set for mid-December. The Amboy couple accused of leaving the country with their 4 children should be back in Washington within the next 2 weeks. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says that Jeff and Kim Spady have waived extradition in Montana. Canadian officials handed them over to the U.S. authorities last month. Both face charges of custodial interference. Their children were taken into protective custody and are now in foster care. Spady is accused of child rape. An anti-drug movement is sweeping the state tonight, and methamphetamine is the focus. More than 24 TV stations across Oregon tonight aired a documentary called Crystal Darkness. The program highlights the devastation meth has caused for some families in Oregon. Inmates across the state also got the chance today to watch that documentary. KPTV's David Wilson watched tonight with a local church crew and joins us live now from a place where people can get help. Dave?
Yeah, behind me here is a phone bank where people have been able to call in all night tonight to get help with the methamphetamine addiction. It has started to slow down a little bit, but earlier it was very busy with an estimated 300 calls. It's all part of the Crystal Darkness campaign to keep people off meth in Oregon. Tonight, the anti-meth campaign entitled Crystal Darkness is brought home to thousands of people across the state of Oregon.
So it's a message of hope for folks that are trapped in this addiction.
It's not even about yourself anymore. It's just
The Rolling Hills Community Church in Tualatin is just one place people could come with their families to watch the documentary.
We're hoping that by coming here, having families come, have the community come, that it will open up a discussion about why meth is so deadly.
Organizers at Rolling Hills set up a panel after the show to help answer questions about the drug.
We want the message to get out to children, 4th grade and older, that this is something that will affect their lives.
The half-hour show aired commercial-free on 25 television stations across Oregon at 7:30 tonight, called A Media Roadblock. It's the first time in Oregon stations such as Fox 12 and others have teamed up for such a cause. The documentary included people from law enforcement, the court system, social service agencies, as well as recovering addicts. Allie Lapierre says it may have inspired people to get help.
I think that for the addicts that's still struggling, it offers hope.
I think that it definitely impacted them in a strong way.
Judy Miller says the video made a big impression on her teenage daughter and son.
But it really brought it to home. It was sad and very moving, and often I saw my daughter tear up.
It definitely would make an impact on me, and I would never want to do anything like that.
There were 6 representatives from other states in Oregon tonight watching how this thing unfolds because they want to go back home and have the Crystal Darkness campaign there. We're live in Northeast Portland tonight. David Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
And as we just told you, you can call the meth crisis line any time of the day or night. That number is 1-800-923-HELP, and you can find a link to more information on our website, kptv.com. A former bookkeeper for the Estacada Rural Fire District is facing charges tonight after investigators say she embezzled more than $1 million. Clackamas County deputies arrested Pamela Rowley Butcher this afternoon. They'd been investigating her for months in connection with the department's missing money. Back in July, detectives served search warrants at her home and at fire headquarters. Rowley Butcher was in charge of payroll and worked at the department for more than 20 years. She now faces 59 counts of aggravated theft. Only on 12 tonight, an update on a story we were first to bring you last week involving a brand new way for detectives to find suspects and witnesses. The Washington County Fraud and Identity Theft Enforcement Team created this webpage called Can You ID Me? After we first ran the story, a woman called us saying that her picture was on the page, but that she is a victim. KPTV's Deborah Gill is live in Southeast Portland tonight with how she's fighting to clean up her record. Deborah?
After seeing our story, the woman called Fox 12 and Washington County deputies. They've since turned her case over to detectives here at East Precinct. Tonight, her picture is now labeled identified, but she still has a lot of questions. Nancy Takeda looks over a new Washington County webpage to see if she recognizes anyone.
That guy looks familiar.
Her picture is there among other photos of people police say may have committed a crime or witnessed one.
I've been trying to get through to somebody who can tell me what this is all about. You know, I mean, because this is new to me.
Nancy thinks this is an arrest photo from back in 2000. She admits to a troubled past, including crime and drugs, but she says she's trying to put that all behind her.
I've done what I can to keep myself out of trouble. I haven't done anything wrong, haven't had any new charges.
But Nancy says in those days, she also became a victim of ID theft.
Back then, though, I hung out with people that committed crimes instead of working.
She says someone is using her name on a fake ID and learned about it when she went to cash a check at this Walmart, and a clerk told her she'd already been there trying to do that.
And what do you do about something like that? I mean, I don't know the first thing about how do you clean up a mess like that?
Portland detectives say during a raid of a man with numerous warrants for ID theft, they found this fake ID with Nancy's photo and this photo of her on a seized computer. They posted it on the website hoping someone could help them ID her, not knowing if she was involved in fraud or a victim. Tonight, Nancy's hoping she can now clear her name and credit record.
I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to know why. I mean, if my name is out there being used, I want to, I'd like to clear it up.
Nancy talked to Portland detectives today who told her and me that she is not wanted for any crime. In the meantime, detectives from all over the metro area are still asking for your help. They'll hope you'll go and look at these pictures, and if you know anyone there, to call or email them. We have a link to the website on our website, KPTV.com. Reporting live tonight in Southeast Portland, Deborah Gill, the 10 o'clock news.
Well, we did not see much rain today, but tonight could be a different story. Stephanie Kralovich is in for Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson tonight, and she's here with our first weather. Steph?
Well, it is still dry in the Portland area right now, but we do see some rain on the way. Let's show you the live radar picture where we do have some rain out along the coast, and some folks in the Willamette Valley are getting hit with a little bit of rain. The Salem area right now starting to see just a little bit of light rain coming down as we put this into motion for the past hour. You can see the system that is bringing this rain in is moving from south to north, but it's also kind of falling apart as it moves along. And as we take a closer look at the Portland area, you can see it's dry with the exception of a few sprinkles that aren't even showing up on the radar picture. As we head out to the coast, a little bit heavier precipitation around the Tillamook area, and heading to the south, you can see also some rain down around the Newport area. We'll have the first live local 7-day forecast that lets you know how dry it's going to be in your 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
In the war on terror, even small communities have to worry about a possible attack. See what local towns would do in case of a bomb. It was breaking news last night on Fox 12. We have new details tonight on the plane crash that killed 10 people in the Washington Cascades. Are your kids abusing alcohol even at school events?
Yeah, I've been drunk at a football game.
High schoolers talking openly about underage drinking in tonight's Real Teen Report. It's a new diet plan featuring foods close to your home. How eating locally could help your waistline and the environment, too.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news, first live local.
Day Org.
First live local.
With your updated weather forecast.
Keeping you informed on overnight changes. Good Day Oregon, tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
Ricky. The new Subaru Outback with road gripping all-wheel drive, low emissions, and a price starting at just $21,995. So anyone hearing the call of the wild can answer.
Right now, lease the new 2008 Subaru Outback for only $199 per month.
Our family's been farming here for over 50 years, but Measure 37 puts working farms like ours at risk. It means thousands of houses right next to farms, and where water is already tough to come by. It's a real mess. Measure 49 changes the law so it's fair for everyone. How do farmers feel? Ask us. We're farmers, and we're voting yes on 49.
A Democratic hopeful hits the Oregon coast in search of support. Hear what John Edwards had to say coming up in the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
.7.1 Charlie FM. We play everything.
There is one company that in one day, today, is providing more than 1 million people with the security of health insurance. Through a choice of different plans designed to meet their individual needs, every associate can qualify for health insurance with premiums that cost less than $1 a day. And it is this one company that has moved more than 150,000 uninsured Americans into a company-sponsored insurance plan. This one company, your neighborhood Walmart.
One night in Bangkok in the world star. Every breath you take.
97.1 Charlie FM. We play everything. It's the talk of the town.
Just overheard something that kind of disturbed me.
That's a little phone game Peg and I play to spice things up. You know, I might be a highway patrolman or a pirate.
And all new Back to You.
This is your sweaty gardener, Ramon. I'm afraid... Oh, sorry.
Wednesday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
In news from around the Northwest tonight, family members say an extreme sport is not to blame for the deaths of 9 skydivers and a pilot in a plane crash in rural Washington. That plane crashed Sunday night and search crews found the wreckage last night. We were first to bring you the story here on Fox 12. And for KPTV, Bernard Choi tells us about those who lost their lives.
We all love them. We all love them.
There are not many words when you lose so many at once.
Yeah, I'm just devastated over the whole thing. I don't know how to react to it yet.
Tonight, family, friends, and all those who are part of the extended Skydive Snohomish family all come back to one word: devastation.
You feel it in every cell in your body. Feels the pain and the hurt and the loss.
10 people from different backgrounds brought together by the love of flying in the sky. There was 20-year-old Landon Atkins of Snohomish, whose sister remembers as a caring and wonderful young man.
Someone who loves his family a lot. He's going to be really missed.
The girlfriend of Andy Smith says the 20-year-old from Lake Stevens was always Mr. Adrenaline. He was also a man of faith.
And I know he's with the Lord right now because he loved him.
Holly Raspberry's sister says the 24-year-old from Bellingham will be missed more than anything.
She was wonderful, and she was doing what she loved.
Cecil Elsner surely loved what he was doing. In a blog on his MySpace page, the 20-year-old from Lake Stevens wrote, "Living in a world with so much turmoil, conflict, and stress, skydiving is an escape." 22-year-old Michelle Barker's love for the sport led her to move recently from Boise to Kirkland.
It really drawn to it. She found a whole new group of friends. In fact, she was always a happy person, but she was a little more happier.
Casey Craig, 30, from Bothell. He came from a family of skydivers. His sister this morning.
He'd want everybody to know that he died living the way he wanted to live.
Also on board the flight, 28-year-old Jeff Ross of Snohomish, 35-year-old Brian Jones, Ralphie Abdo, and the pilot, 46-year-old Phil Kibler from Seattle.
I feel very lucky to have met even one of them, let alone all 10. Those people had a passion for life that very few have.
That was Bernard Choi reporting. Well, how would first responders react if bombers tried to blow up several buildings in Yamhill County? That's exactly what they tried to figure out in a drill today. KPTV's Jim Hyde shows us how the disaster could confuse the officers trying to protect the community.
In this scenario, 2 bombs are planted here in the Yamhill County Commissioner's office across from the courthouse in McMinnville. One has already exploded, another is threatening.
This device is up on a counter.
Guided by cameras mounted on the robot, an OSP sergeant remotely manipulates the machine. The State Police Bomb Squad responded to the scene where the script for the drill had 3 people injured by an explosion.
We had 3 victims that were transported, 2 critical and 1 transported to the local hospital. And then through search and rescue, we found a secondary device.
A State Police detective swaddled in 90 pounds of protective armor goes in to snap some X-ray images of the other bomb and shares them.
We took an X-ray to determine the components inside of it, and then we make a decision on what we're going to do based on that.
Now they can see the threat more clearly. But the script calls for a county-wide catastrophe.
And we're going to meet right now out on the far end of the South Playground.
Mabel Rush School in Newburgh must be evacuated. A bomb threat has been called in, likewise at elementary schools in Carlton and in Sheridan. Kids are marched 250 yards away. Heads are counted. Coordination stressed.
We can call the bus company, see if they can get us some buses.
They are cleared to return to the building, fortunately before heavy rains can soak the school kids. That's good for today, but the long-term usefulness of such war games is a topic for discussion in downtown McMinnville today.
I definitely think it's a worthwhile drill. Kind of get our facilities in order and see who needs to be aware during a time like this.
I think it's a good thing. They should probably let people know, though, that it's
that it's a drill, because I think they get people kind of worked up.
The robot successfully removed the second bomb from the building, and the emergency crews say they appreciate that technological skill, but the main point of the exercise is to improve the way they communicate with each other in times of crisis. In McMinnville, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
Tonight, Portland's music scene's having a global impact, and it has nothing to do with platinum records or radio play. A who's who of local musicians participated in the first of several concerts that are raising money for Mercy Corps' work in Uganda. It took place this evening at McMenamin's Kennedy School. The woman behind the event is a singer-songwriter herself, and only several months ago learned about the 20-plus years of civil war that's torn the Eastern African nation apart. She hopes the concerts will bring in funds to help thousands of displaced and hungry people, as well as raise awareness. The event's co-director says it's also important to celebrate Uganda's success.
They're actually thriving in the face of a lot of adversity, and they're not complaining about it whatsoever. They're managing to live a very productive life in spite of the war-torn conditions that they've been in for the last 22 years.
There will be 10 concerts in all. The rest will be happening in November, and you can get more information by going to the website that you see on your screen, or, as always, KPTV.com. The Republicans face off for a shot at the Oval Office. Here what the frontrunners had to say during tonight's debates. More consequences for Michael Vick tonight. Hear the court decision that could cost him millions of dollars. And an Oregon man has earned a big national honor. Check out his prize-winning pumpkin in the final cut.
We stayed mostly dry out there today, but we do have some rain on the way. Let's show you the live radar picture. You can see Portland getting close to getting some rain. It's not here yet. I'll let you know how long the rain's going to last in your first live local 7-day forecast coming up.
And did you hear? Fox 12 is bringing you a special Thursday edition of Friday Night Lights this week. That means we'll be live at one of these games: Lake Oswego at West Lynn, Milwaukee at Oregon City, or Gresham at Centennial. The voting at KPTV.com ends tonight at midnight. The winning game will be announced tomorrow night right here on the 10 o'clock news.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Today's the day to buy a new Ford truck during our year-end clearance, and they're priced to move. Remember, we won't be undersold on any new Ford, period. See us now, Hillier's Mid-City Ford, minutes from anywhere, I-5, Woodburn.
Got $1 in my pocket, gonna spend it on you. I know it's not much, dear, but it'll have to do.
The green burrito taco salad is back at Carl's Jr., because you can't have burgers all the time.
It's our year-end clearance at Hillier's Mid-City Ford. We won't be undersold on any new Ford, period. And they're priced to move. Come see us now for the Hillier's difference. Minutes from Salem or Portland, I-5, Woodburn.
Watch what you eat tonight in the Fox 12 Final Cut. This lady cut her mouth open on a bag of popcorn, and it wasn't the popcorn that did her in. This boy saved a friend's life in the school lunchroom, and a TV show helped him do it. And there is a warning tonight about pot pies. Why you really need to follow those instructions on the box in tonight's Final Cut.
He would call me his little brown-eyed, bright-eyed baby. He even made up a song about it. You're my little brown-eyed, bright-eyed baby. You're my little brown-eyed, bright-eyed girl. You're my little brown-eyed, bright-eyed baby. And your daddy loves you so.
This busy place is Comcast's Fiber Optics Center. Our digital network starts here, bringing Comcast services to your neighborhood. In your home, 100% digital cable with on-demand makes TV better than ever. You can surf the net faster using Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. And talk all you want with Comcast Digital Voice, featuring unlimited nationwide calling. Connect to the future. Get all three for just $33 each per month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
This news segment is brought to you by Furniture Outlet.
Ricky, come on out. Let me see your costume. Don't you just love Halloween parties?
Trudy, I am not going as a banana.
Get into Furniture Outlet today for great furniture. We're celebrating Halloween with a very special fall inventory sale. And pay no interest for 12 months. Ricky, stop picking the fruit out of my hat.
Oh, Trudy. Oh, 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 oh.
For the second time in 5 months, presidential candidate John Edwards made a swing through Oregon in an effort to secure your vote. The former U.S. Senator from North Carolina was scheduled to attend a private fundraiser in Portland this evening before addressing the Oregon Business Association.
What I intend to say to every member of Congress and every member of my administration is you have a responsibility to pass universal health care by July of this year, July of 2009. And if you don't pass universal health care by July of this year, you lose your health care.
Edwards also connected with the labor crowd by speaking about his blue-collar upbringing. It was a big night for the Republican candidates for president. They faced off tonight at a big debate in Michigan. Rudy Giuliani and Mitt Romney stole the spotlight. The frontrunners sparred with each other repeatedly. Giuliani says that he supports tax cuts, but Romney basically accused Giuliani of lying. He says Giuliani supported a substantial tax on commuters coming into New York City. Giuliani fired back, saying that while he cut taxes in New York City, Romney increased them in Massachusetts. From now until Election Day, watch your vote coverage right here on Fox 12. Get the information that you need to know any time of day by going to our website, KPTV.com.
We do have some rain moving in tonight, but a few dry days are showing up in the 7-day forecast. I'll let you know when that drier, warmer weather is going to arrive coming up.
Also, it was a May Day protest that got way out of hand. Remember this? But tonight, the cops aren't blaming the protesters. Hear what they say went wrong. Think you don't have any time to exercise? What if you could get your workout done in 10 minutes? It's a health story that you should make some time to see. And some high-tech dressing rooms are giving rear view a whole new meaning. Why customers say they like the view.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Looking for a great local job? Here are a few Northwest jobs from Fox 12 Oregon, powered by JobDango.com.
In Portland, Ingersoll Rand is hiring a construction equipment service technician. River City Environmental is hiring a controller. In Grand Ronde, Spirit Mountain Gaming is hiring a chief executive officer.
For details on these local jobs and thousands more, or to advertise your jobs, go to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Jobs at the left side of our homepage.
You are in the presence of the future king of New York.
Tomorrow, there's nothing more dangerous.
Of all the places, you gotta come to my place.
Than your own family.
Son, sooner or later, either you're gonna be with us or you're gonna be with the dealers.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Get down!
Mark Wahlberg.
I'm done with you!
Ava Mendes.
You could be killed.
And Robert Duvall.
There's a war out there.
In the most electrifying thriller of the year, We Own the Night. Rated R. Opens everywhere tomorrow.
In the smallest gift lives a quiet spirit with the power to bring great joy. Spirit Mountain Community Fund, a proud tradition of giving back to our neighbors.
Getting a jump on college scholarships. Why starting early could mean a free ride for your kids. Ahead on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
In Portland, call Chris Summers 24/7 for discounts up to 40%. In Cornelius, call Bunny Gert 24/7 for discounts up to 40%.
Only one car lineup offers legendary Hemi power. Music Gate Power sound system, a MyGig multimedia infotainment system, and more style and performance than ever before. All to help you make the most of every mile. Now get up to $3,500 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Charger.
If Measure 49 passes, I'll be losing my retirement savings.
We'll lose the value of our property, my retirement money.
It'll be a hardship on my family and a lot of families in Oregon.
Over 7,500 families will have their property rights taken immediately. It could happen to your family.
We'll lose everything.
We'll lose everything we have. And to me, if you're paying taxes and you bought the land, it's your land.
Please vote no on Measure 49. Vote no.
It's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Try Arby's new toasted subs, made with savory meats and melted cheese piled high on toasted ciabatta bread. So big and fresh, one bite'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Your next home improvement project is just a mouse click away. Log on to KPTV.com. Click on Homes and Garden. Check out qualified contractors for your home improvement needs. Brought to you by ReliableRemodeler.com.
In tonight's Health Watch, word about a possible link between cell phones and cancer. Doctors in Sweden say that if you've used a cell phone for at least 10 years, you are twice as likely to get a certain type of brain tumor than others. The new study is based on nearly a dozen other studies investigating a cancer cell phone link. The study also found that children are at an even greater risk of those tumors because they have thinner skulls. Got 10 minutes? Then you can work out. Let's face it, whether you're racing around town or stuck at the office, it is tough to get in that workout, isn't it? But now there are no excuses. Check out this place in Florida called the 10-Minute Gym. Now, inside is a machine that claims to give you a workout in a fraction of the normal time.
I've got these hereditary love handles, you know, and I see it trimming in as little as 1 month. I see it trimming down.
This machine, it's called the ROM machine. For 4 minutes, you pull handles which train upper body muscles, and then after a 2-minute break, you spend another 4 minutes training your lower body muscles. But it may not be a machine that you'll ever want to bring home. Why? Because a ROM costs about $15,000. If you are trying to eat better and lose weight, here's a new diet that's gaining a lot of attention. It's called the 100-mile diet. And don't worry, you don't have to walk that far between lunch and dinner. It just means try eating only foods that are grown within 100 miles of your home. The diet is said to be good for you and also the environment. You will soon have another option if you want to fly from Portland to Europe nonstop. Today, Northwest Airlines made it official. The carrier will begin service from Portland to Amsterdam beginning next March. From Amsterdam, you can then get a direct connection to nearly every major European city. The flights will leave Portland around 4 in the afternoon and arrive in Amsterdam at about 11 the next day. Analysts say the new service might also force Lufthansa to lower its fares on Portland's only other non-stop European flight. Fox 12's Stephanie Karlovich joins us now. I got to ask you, are we done with the sun until next July?
No, we have some showing up in the 7-day forecast.
Oh, good.
Maybe even a little tomorrow.
Because it could be warm right now, couldn't it?
Yes, it could. We are below average for this time of year. At least we were today. We do have some nicer days on the way, though. Tomorrow, still some rain out there with the system that's bringing us the rain right now, at least in many parts of our area. Portland, still dry, but Wayne, you are going to need that umbrella as you head home later because the rain is on its way. Okay, as we put this into motion for the past hour, you can see the system that's bringing this rain in is moving from south to north. As it does, it's kind of weakening and falling apart. So we're not going to see a lot of rain out of this. It looks like most likely less than a 1/4 inch in Portland by tomorrow morning, and then just a few light lingering showers. But as we take a closer look at the Portland area, you can see things are looking rather dry right now. And as we zoom in, you can see Portland dry, but folks around the Salem area, Silverton, starting to see that rain develop. Okay, so rainfall totals for today. Let's show you where we were. 1/100th of an inch of rain in Portland, 1/1400ths in Astoria, 1600ths in Newport, just a trace up in Olympia, and 1300ths in Hoquiam, but that was through 5 o'clock p.m. So we've picked up some more rain since then. Okay, 63 degrees our high temperature for today. 58 down in Salem, 58 for Eugene. Temperatures along the coast in the lower 60s. We did get some warm weather on the eastern side of the state. It's going to be much cooler for tomorrow. We're seeing some chilly overnight lows in eastern Oregon with some areas of clearing out there. Temperatures are going to dip below freezing for many folks there. Temperatures right now in the lower 50s around the Portland area. Currently we're at 30 35 in Redmond, 33 in Burns, still at 58 in Baker City with some cloud cover there, and 59 in LeGrand. Now taking a look at that satellite picture, what a big system we had offshore throughout the day today. The good news, most of the energy from it stayed to our north and it stayed far enough offshore. We did not see any real wind problems along the coast with this, but some high surf conditions out there, and that will continue through tomorrow. Some extremely high swells with that system well offshore, but not the gusty conditions that were originally expected with the system this powerful, because it did stay far enough off the coast. As we take a closer look at this system, you can see there is another one behind it, but this is going to stay actually to our south for Thursday and Friday, so really not bringing us much chance of rain. And that means tomorrow, the showers we get, those could be our last before a nice little dry break in the weather for Thursday, Friday, and guess what? Yes, through the weekend, it's looking like it's going to be dry. Cloud rain forecast playing out like this. A few light rain showers through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, and then another round of showers possible in the afternoon. You can see around the morning commute, we do get that chance for some wet weather, so keep your umbrella handy. And as we get into Thursday, just a lot of cloud cover. New at 11 tonight, we'll talk about that developing La Nina and how it's going to affect us for our winter forecast. Now a quick look at the forecast for the region. Cooler with rain showers. Temperatures just in the lower 60s around Bend and Redmond tomorrow, and in the 50s for a good part of eastern Oregon. Mount Hood forecast showers with up to an inch of mountain snow. That snow level at 5,500 feet, so the passes looking good for drivers crossing east of the Cascades, bare and wet. As we now take a look at the forecast for west of the Cascades, some rain showers, but also some sun breaks possible in the afternoon. Temperatures right around where they were today in the lower 60s. Portland metro area in the lower 60s with winds just between 10 and 15 miles per hour. Lingering showers and some sun breaks out there. A few showers tomorrow, and then things do dry out, though, in the 7-day forecast. So let's show you the drier weather that is on its way. It's going to give us a nice little break from the clouds, too. We'll get some sunshine out there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll have more on your weather forecast tonight on the 11 o'clock news.
In tonight's Final Cut, surprises as police finally figure out who to blame for this May Day protest that got out of hand. Surprise, it's not the protesters. You better hope you don't find a surprise in your movie popcorn. One woman did, and now she's warning others what to look for. And yet another recall tonight, but surprise, it's from Starbucks. It's all in the Final Cut next. Then, new at 11, how investigators say a baby died because of her crib's design, and it wasn't part of a recent recall. It's information you need to know. And see your news on Fox 12. It's easy. When you see breaking news happening, take a picture or record video with a cell phone or digital camera. Then go to KPTV.com and click on the Your News link and send it in.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Cooney BMW, the Northwest's #1 BMW dealer for sales and customer satisfaction, is also your home for the biggest selection of certified pre-owned luxury automobiles. Quality pre-owned cars from a dealer you can trust. Cooney BMW, corner Highway 217 and Canyon Road.
Steel and your local steel dealers say, bring on the season. We're ready for leaves with steel shredder backs and blowers like the BG55. Now just $139.95. Save $10. Ready to cut firewood and cut heating bills with the Steel MS-170 chainsaw for just $179.95. Find your local Steel servicing dealer at steelusa.com. Are you ready for a Steel?
Mr. Combs? You the CEO of BK, the man who says I can have it my way. Sure. I'm hungry. Y'all closed. Now how you propose we resolve this? I'll get my keys. I don't like to eat alone. Now that's what's up.
BK is now open till midnight or later.
There's never been a better time to donate your vehicle to Portland Rescue Mission, because our full-service shop may recondition your car to maximize its donation potential. So help drive away hunger by calling Portland Rescue Mission today at 503-MISSION.
Teens open up about underage drinking. They're revealing comments in tonight's Real Teen Report. Next on the Fox 12 Final Cut.
Hi, I'm Parker Can, CEO of Columbia Credit Union. I'm on the road visiting our members to find out about them. Today, I'm visiting the Judsons. They're from Portland. So why do you travel from Portland to Vancouver to do business with us?
It's comfortable.
Comfortable enough that we'll make the drive once a week for half an hour each way.
So sometimes you hop online rather than hopping on the freeway.
We do, yeah.
Definitely.
We do all the online products that we can do.
What can we do better?
Well, you could expand into Portland and preferably open up a branch right at the end of our street.
Columbia Credit Union. Good for you.
The world within our oceans is one we're only beginning to understand. New technology allows us to study and explore the sea like never before. What could be more exciting than that?
I get inspired taking what I learn in the classroom and then working with my team to engineer real-world solutions. Building a champion mini Baja is a lesson that will stay with us for life.
These are our stories. Oregon State University.
At Hagen, you'll find we're the first ingredient in your best meals.
I'm really proud of our new 5-star Angus beef. It's got a juicy, real Angus taste you're gonna love, like I do. And we trim it perfectly, so you get the most tender beef with our unconditional guarantee. After all, I know you're buying the best beef to make something amazing, and I'll help you choose cuts of our new 5-star Angus beef that will turn your home into a 5-star restaurant.
Hagen Food and Pharmacy, where your best meals begin.
Stand by the Final Cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
The Final Cut begins with news across America tonight and more guilty pleas from that Missouri man who abducted 2 boys and held them captive in his apartment. A judge sentenced Michael Devlin to nearly 24 life sentences today after he admitted to kidnapping and sexually assaulting Sean Hornbeck. He also said that he tried to kill the boy until Hornbeck talked him out of it. These sentences came one day after Devlin pleaded guilty and got another life sentence for kidnapping Ben Ownby. Police found him at Devlin's apartment 4 days after he disappeared in January. That's where they also discovered Hornbeck. The boys' families say that those pleas will spare the teens from testifying.
We're naturally grateful that both of the boys didn't have to appear in court, didn't have to relive the horrors that they had to endure.
Devlin is due in federal court tomorrow. The Final Cut includes a real murder mystery tonight from California. That's where investigators in Simi Valley near LA are trying to figure out why a gunman walked into a tire shop and killed a woman, then shot 2 store workers before finally turning the gun on himself. The wounded workers are expected to survive. The woman was a customer who was in the waiting room. Witnesses say the man calmly walked in, pulled a gun from a bag, and then started shooting. Tonight, as the families of the victims killed in Sunday's shooting rampage in Wisconsin make funeral plans, we know more about how the shooter died. The state attorney general says that Tyler Peterson shot himself 3 times as officers tried to capture him. An autopsy revealed Peterson's final gunshot killed him. Peterson, an off-duty sheriff's deputy, gunned down 7 people during a pizza party on Sunday. 6 of them died. Investigators say that Peterson opened fire after an argument with his ex-girlfriend. A mass is scheduled for the victims on Thursday. The Final Cut moves down south to Los Angeles now, where the LAPD is admitting it used too much force during a May Day demonstration in a park. You may remember some of this video of police breaking up the demonstration. Officers fired pepper spray and rubber bullets, even hitting some journalists and children. Well, after an investigation, the LAPD today admitted it went too far, saying it underestimated the size of the crowd and that its officers had not been properly trained to handle it. 18 officers, by the way, were also injured, mostly from flying bottles. The Atlanta Falcons may cash in, after all, almost $20 million worth, despite losing disgraced quarterback Michael Vick. After hearing arguments from both the team and the NFL Players Association, an arbitrator sided with the Falcons, saying the team can recoup nearly $20 million in bonus money because Vick knew that he was in violation of his contract when he signed it in 2004. The Players Association is appealing that decision. Vick has pleaded guilty to federal charges for his role in a long-running dogfighting operation. A woman in Tucson says she got a big surprise while taking in a movie in a bag of popcorn at a local theater. She was there with her children when all of a sudden she says she felt something sharp and noticed her mouth had been cut. She says that's when she saw the razor. Somehow she says it got into her prepackaged bag of Orville Redenbacher popcorn that the theater had sold. The movie chain right now is checking out her story. To Houston now, where a 9-year-old boy saved a classmate's life using a lesson that he learned outside of school. Now, the 4th grader was eating lunch last month when he realized the boy next to him was choking. And that's when he performed the Heimlich maneuver. For his heroism, he got a thank you from his classmate and also the boy's mother.
He got actually teary-eyed and told me that his friend saved his life. That's what made me want to get to know who this person, who this person was, and actually thank him.
That little hero says that he learned the Heimlich maneuver from watching TV. An Oregon man set the record yesterday for growing a giant pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin Weigh-Off happened in California, and the winning gourd came in at a whopping 1,524 pounds. The man who grew the pumpkin will get a prize of $9,146. If you're wondering how they got that amount, it's $6 for each pound. So how do pumpkins get so big? Pumpkin growers say it's a lot of fertilizer. Okay, underage drinking, is it a problem facing kids in our schools? Some parents may say no, but as you're about to find out in tonight's Real Teen Report, the answer may not be correct. Now, we want you to remember that this next story was not professionally produced. Instead, the entire thing was put together by a real teen at the Sabin-Schellenberg Center in the North Clackamas School District.
High school football games are a tradition. And as recent events show, so is getting drunk before the games for some students. Walking around at any high school's football game on most Friday nights, you can smell the alcohol and other legal substances in the air.
At the football game last Friday, there was a lot of people that were drinking before and after the games, and I don't think that's very good for our community or for our schools.
The legal drinking age in the United States is 21, and yet 1/3 of the underage population has admitted to underage drinking.
Yeah, I've been drunk at a football game.
In the results of a survey put out this year, 1/3 of 8th graders have said that they had at least one drink in the past 30 days.
They want to show that they're cool. I don't see the point in that because it's really not cool. It's just stupid. They're not drinking is pointless.
Reporting from the Clackamas High School Stadium, I'm Emily Tompkins.
And again, tonight's Real Teen Story was produced by Emily Tompkins, a student at the Sabin-Schellenberg Center. If you would like more information about our Real Teen program or to see other Real Teen reports, just log on to our website, KPTV.com. Now in the final cut, how would you like to go to college for free? A self-described scholarship coach says there are a lot of scholarships for the taking, and all you need to do is apply for them. Ben Kaplan travels the country teaching students and parents just how to do that. He also writes a column in the Oregonian. He says the secret is to start early, even as early as 7th grade. He himself applied for enough scholarships to get $90,000, enough to put himself through Harvard. And since then, he has written 12 books on the subject. Speaking of school, check out this one. These students at the Art Institute of Tampa are learning how to design video games. It starts the low-tech way with paper and pencil. They may be students today, but they could be millionaires tomorrow. The video game industry makes billions every year. And if you need any proof, all you have to do is check out the line of people who were waiting to get the Halo 3 when it went on sale. In tonight's Consumer Watch, a health warning about something that may be in your freezer right now. The Department of Human Services says Banquet brand pot pies may be the source of a salmonella outbreak. So far, at least 135 people in 30 states, including Oregon, have gotten sick. The pot pies have code numbers beginning with 5009 or would have a P9 code. If you have the pie, health workers say you should throw it away. They do say thoroughly cooking the pie may reduce your risk. If you've already eaten the pie and have diarrhea or fever, you should probably contact your doctor. After you check the freezer, look in your cupboards for this plastic cup. Starbucks is recalling about 250,000 of these cups because the face on that cup can break off and leave sharp edges. At least 2 kids started choking on the broken pieces. You can take the cups back to Starbucks for a refund and a complimentary drink. Tonight, federal investigators are looking into complaints about the Toyota Tacoma. Some people say the pickup truck speeds up without warning. In some cases, they say the truck went up to 100 miles per hour. The problem happened even after people say they applied the brakes. Our sister station in Nashville investigated those complaints, and we'll show you that full report in the 11 o'clock news and why Toyota is not investigating the problem. Also coming up new at 11 tonight, a warning about the safety of your baby's crib. How police say a baby died sleeping in one crib that wasn't part of a nationwide recall. Then it's a close call caught on camera when a kangaroo hops in front of a speeding car right in the middle of a racetrack. And then rumors about a sequel to a movie that made the Oregon coast famous. Is another Goonies in the works? Details on all these stories new tonight at 11. Well, tonight, new technology is helping people get a better fitting pair of jeans. Take a look at what they're calling the butt cam. Hub Clothing in Scottsdale, Arizona has these cameras in the changing room, and you can see yourself in the mirror and then check yourself from behind on the flat screen next to the mirror. Well, the cameras have become a big hit with both women and men since they were installed this summer.
We've joked about how it gets a lot of the guys off the hook about, how does my butt look? And, well, there it is on TV.
The store owner says he came up with the butt camera because the changing rooms were too small for three-way mirrors. If you own an iPhone, you could be part of a class action lawsuit against Apple. California man's now filed suit saying that Apple has created a monopoly by only allowing the phones to work with service from AT&T. The man says Apple also punished those who broke the iPhone code by making those hacked phones useless after a recent software upgrade. No word on how much money the suit wants from Apple. Well, the future of a teen involved in a car crash with Hulk Hogan's son does not look good, and tonight Hollywood's buzzing about it. John Graziano, was the passenger in Nick Hogan's car when they were in an accident back in August. Hogan got out of the hospital just a day later, but Graziano is still in a comatose state and on total life support. His doctors say he will likely spend the remainder of his life in a nursing home. Lindsay Lohan's out of rehab, and she wants help staying clean. The actress left a Utah rehab clinic on Friday, but is staying in the area for now. In an interview with OK Magazine, Lohan says that she will stay there until she has to shoot her next movie, and then she'll go back to Utah to stay away from the Hollywood scene. And that's tonight's Final Cut.
I'm Matt Smith, ahead in sports. The Blazers preseason opener less than 24 hours away. Head coach Nate McMillan says Brandon Roy won't play, but Roy says that won't last long. Details next in sports.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Then I heard on Fox 12's 10 o'clock news about a story that happens right in my neighborhood.
Did you log on to KPTV.com to learn more?
Yeah, and all the information was there, even streaming video of the story. I was glued to my laptop.
Sounds like KPTV.com is the best place for local news.
Everyone's talking about KPTV.com. Are you? Now, better than ever.
We don't build hospitals just to get big. We don't invest in the best people and technology just to brag. And we don't lead the way in community service just to feel good about ourselves. We do it so the people of Oregon and Southwestern Washington receive the finest care in the country. Right here, every day. We're Legacy Health System. Here for you, every day.
Honey, have we paid the mortgage yet?
I'm on it right now. What's that? Bill pay from Sterling lets me send money with the push of a button.
Looks easy.
Yep, so you better get going.
Now? It's top of the ninth.
Sorry, man, you're sent.
Oh. Whatever.
And please don't slam the... Thank you.
1-2 free bill pay from Sterling, the perfect fit bank.
Some truck owners say that there is a problem with a popular pickup and it could put you and your family in danger. Stories coming up on the 11 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Is this the only brand you sell?
Hey, we are the mega merchants of tires. We stack them high and watch them fly.
But is it the right tire for my car?
Sure. It'll fit just fine. And it's on sale.
When it comes to your family's safety, make sure you get the right tire for your car, truck, or SUV. At Tire Factory, they'll get you the right tire for the way you drive. Trust what you love to Tire Factory. Always the right tire, always the right price.
I was diagnosed with cancer when I was a baby. The doctors were able to save me because of early tests, but too many kids in Oregon aren't so lucky. Measure 50 will make sure that they can go to the doctor.
Measure 50 is a fair and accountable way to provide health coverage for over 100,000 kids who need it now. The money promised to healthcare goes to healthcare.
The American Cancer Society and the Heart and Lung Associations all support Measure 50. I hope you will too.
LivePDX.com, Portland's newest entertainment website, featuring food, movies, a family section, and exclusive video profiles. Find the right place every time.
Welcome back. Tomorrow night at 7, first game of the preseason for the Blazers, and much to his dismay, team leader Brandon Roy will almost certainly spend the entire game on the bench. Last week, Roy was hobbled by that sore heel. He just returned to action yesterday. Now, playing it safe, head coach Nate McMillan says he'll hold Roy out of most, if not all, of the preseason games, but Roy is singing a different tune.
I don't think I'll play in the first couple because I'm still trying to, get my legs back up under me, but I'll definitely play in a few.
My plan is to slowly bring him back and get him ready for the season.
Yeah, that's what he said, but, I got to play. So he's lucky I'm not pushing him to play Wednesday. So.
Blazers and Clippers tomorrow night. Hey, a bye week could not have come at a better time for Portland State because the Vikings are hurting quite literally. Case in point, their starting long snapper is injured, so the team avoided a game-tying extra point last weekend. In effect, they lost the game. Well, here's how it shakes down. Each of these players, all 10 of them, have missed at least a game nursing various injuries, and 3 of them are gone for the year. Tonight at 11, Jerry Glanville ready to take drastic measures to overcome the injury bug. Also at 11, Portland fighter David Banks in the ring tonight on ESPN. He's competing on the boxing reality show The Contender, and we'll have tonight's fight result at 11. Matt Smith, Fox 12 Sports.
A suspected burglar is caught in the act thanks to some alert and assertive apartment managers. That story is new at 11.
Tonight, some drivers say there is a dangerous problem with a popular pickup truck, and it could put your family at risk. It's information you need to know. Plus, how a kangaroo survived a close call with speeding cars after hopping onto a racetrack.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Sports News segment is brought to you by AM 860 KPAM, the Beaver Nation station.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not,
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
Yes! They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh baked waffles, pecans, and caramel. Do one.
At Rapid Cash, they're a little different. Not the boy, they're really odd kind of different. But the gee, this is a pleasant surprise kind of different.
They're real professionals, and they really know what they're doing.
And at Rapid Cash, they always loan the most, and you always get cash. Apply online at rapidcashinc.com or call 1-877-611-FAST to begin getting your cash now. Rapid Cash, your cash right now. Se habla español.
Up with the sunrise, you'll be staring out through the window on the day I'll be navigating shadow cast on the covers of your bed. Give me another waking moment.
Do you know a supermom? We're looking for our next It Mom of the Month. Go to KPTV.com to enter. Lucky winners will be featured on Better Portland to share their secrets of success.
Introducing the all-new all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza with audio and video inputs, a 170 horsepower engine, and a starting price under 17 grand. The Subaru Impreza, 4 doors, 5 doors, and unlimited possibilities.
The all-new 2008 Subaru Impreza, well equipped at $16,995.
Introducing the Primo Supremo from Round Table Pizza. With a twisted pepperoni crust, it's the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Long live pizza night!
My sister's battling breast cancer. It's devastating.
Stay positive. Went through this with my mother.
So
My
much
heart
out.
goes out to you.
Just when she's feeling like herself,
Sorry.
it's time for another treatment.
There should be therapy for chemo.
She'll have good days and bad, and you can be there for both.
Been cancer-free for 7 years.
Cry with her.
Recovery happens. Pretty hat.
Thank you.
Here's a leaf.
Your words mean so much.
Let us know how you're coping in the coming weeks.
Join the conversation at myregens.com. We are all connected and millions strong. Regions.
Now on Fox 12 Oregon, this is the 11 o'clock news.
Tonight, some drivers say a popular truck will speed up sometimes up to 100 miles per hour with no warning. See the TV news investigation that could impact drivers right here in Oregon. Then police say that the baby died while sleeping in a crib that wasn't part of a nationwide recall. It's information you need to know, plus details about a possible sequel to a movie that made the Oregon coast famous. When we take it to the edge, I'm Wayne Garcia. Shauna Parsons has the night off, and now here's a look at Fox 12's top stories. We begin with KPTV's Jamie Wilson, live with what's new at 11.
Well, only on 12 tonight, police are commending the managers of this Hillsborough apartment complex for stopping a crime in progress. They say the couple alerted them that this man was breaking into an apartment here, and they say that early call helped them catch the suspect red-handed.
But she's always watching, you know, who's coming in and who's coming out, you know. And she knows who lives here and who doesn't. Yeah. So that's a good thing, you know.
Tonight, Eddie Mendoza's wife is shy about taking credit for catching a burglar. But Hillsborough police say she and her husband made their job a whole lot easier.
They congratulate my wife, you know, and which it was good. Make us feel good, you know.
Around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Mrs. Mendoza says she saw Jose Campos Garcia jumping through the back window of apartment number 2. She alerted her husband, and he called on his maintenance staff to surround the place.
I said, well, can you guys wait on the other side, you know, make sure this guy doesn't come out because we call in the cops. And this guy is a burglar.
Officers say they arrived while Campos Garcia was still inside. They confronted him, and Mendoza says he overheard the man claiming that he bought a bunch of stuff from the renters here, and he was just coming to pick it up. Police say the suspect's backpack was full.
He was coming out, you know, with a Nintendo and some other games, you know, from the kids.
Officers put Campos Garcia in handcuffs and took him to jail. The Mendozas have only managed this complex for 1 year, but they say crimes that have gone unnoticed in the past will no longer be tolerated.
Actually, I think those guys are trying to get in some other places, you know, but like I said, I'm watching them. I'm watching for them. Yeah. You know, once I see something, you know, I get them.
And tonight, Campos Garcia, that burglary suspect, is facing charges of burglary and theft. Live in Hillsborough tonight, Jamie Wilson, the 11 o'clock news.
Well, tonight, Forest Grove police are looking for a man who exposed himself to a young woman who was working at this coffee stand. It happened Saturday night around 10 o'clock. Workers tell me that the woman was working in the coffee stand when a man walked up. He ordered a drink and started asking strange questions. He kept walking away from the window and then walking back. And at some point, the man eventually exposed himself. A customer who was on the other side of the coffee stand called 911, and the man took off. The man is described as white, in his 40s, and the victim says he had scruffy facial hair. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Forest Grove Police Department. Reporting in Forest Grove tonight, Kevin Kawari, the 11 o'clock news.
All across Oregon tonight, the Crystal Darkness documentary is shown on more than 24 television stations in an anti-drug campaign against methamphetamine addiction. For the first time ever, television stations, including Fox 12, teamed up for the cause, donating a half hour of airtime for the special. It highlights the dangers of meth and how to get help if you're addicted. A phone bank set up in Northeast Portland took in hundreds of calls for help. 6 representatives from other states were on hand tonight to watch how the Crystal Darkness campaign was handled here in Oregon so they can go back home and do the same thing there. In Northeast Portland tonight, David Wilson, the 11 o'clock news.
An update tonight on a new way for detectives to track down possible suspects and witnesses. Fraud and ID theft detectives say the Can You ID Me webpage on Washington County Sheriff's website is helping them find people. One woman found her own picture there and made a call to cops wondering why. Nancy Takeda says she is a victim of ID theft and was surprised to see her picture on the webpage. She spoke to detectives who tell me they found Nancy's picture on a computer they seized in an ID theft bust, but she is not wanted for anything. Tonight, investigators are encouraging everyone to take a look at the pictures and call or email them. We have a link on our website, KPTV.com. In Southeast Portland tonight, Deborah Gill, the 11 o'clock news.
We begin our top 3 national stories with the latest on a deputy's deadly shooting rampage in Wisconsin. Investigators say 20-year-old Tyler Peterson died after shooting himself 3 times. Officers say Peterson shot and killed 6 people at a party early Sunday morning before taking his own life during a shootout with police. The victims were all high school students or recent grads celebrating homecoming weekend. Only one person survived. Police say Peterson went to the house to confront his ex-girlfriend and flew into a rage after she rejected him. The Missouri man who kidnapped 2 boys is facing dozens of life sentences tonight after pleading guilty in 3 counties to kidnapping, sex abuse, and attempted murder charges. Michael Devlin shared details about the 2 kidnappings today in court. Devlin kidnapped 1 boy in 2002 and planned to kill him, but spared the boy after he agreed to do whatever Devlin wanted. Cops found the boy in January, 4 days after Devlin kidnapped a second boy. Republican presidential hopeful Fred Thompson joined other GOP candidates at the latest debate tonight in Michigan. The candidates, who also included Rudy Giuliani, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, discussed a variety of issues, including taxes and spending cuts, as well as the war in Iraq. To hear more about what each candidate had to say, you can log on to KPTV.com. In our top 3 Northwest stories tonight, searchers have found the bodies of all 10 people on board a small plane that crashed into the Washington Cascades near White Pass. That plane crashed around 8 o'clock on Sunday night while flying from a skydiving event in Idaho back to Shelton, Washington, which is near Olympia. Search crews found the wreckage last night after smelling fuel. Tonight, family members are still reeling from the news.
She was wonderful, and she was doing what she loved. And we're going to miss her more than anything, and all these families here are going to miss everybody that they lost incredibly.
Investigators think the plane went down in a steep nosedive, but it's still not clear exactly what caused that crash. Tonight, 1 person is dead and others in critical condition after a wrong-way crash on I-5 in Seattle. Police say that a woman was driving the wrong way today when she crashed into a pickup truck, killing a passenger and hurting the driver. She walked away with just scrapes. Police say she had been drinking and already has a DUI on her record. Cops arrested her for causing the deadly crash. Tonight, Idaho's lieutenant governor is joining the race to replace disgraced Senator Larry Craig. Jim Rich announced today that he is running for senator. Craig changed his plans to step down from office last month following his arrest in a bathroom sex sting, but says he will not run for re-election in 2009. Presidential hopeful John Edwards took his campaign for Your Vote to Oregon today. He spoke to union members in Seaside today before coming to Portland. Edwards came in second in a poll of Democratic candidates this weekend behind Barack Obama. During his speech today, Edwards focused on universal health coverage and bringing U.S. troops home from Iraq. Stay with Fox 12 for continuing coverage of Your Vote. And for all the latest election information, you can log on to our website, KPTV.com.
Now, Portland's first complete forecast at 11 from your first live local weather team.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Kralovich, in for Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson. Tonight, a look at the satellite radar picture shows a lot of wet weather for folks along the coast today. Those of us inland really didn't see much. We are seeing that rain move toward us, though, right now in the Portland area. Already seeing some light rain developing, and that's going to continue through a good part of the night tonight. Looks like less than a quarter inch possible for Portland by the time tonight is over. And tomorrow, just some lingering showers. Temperatures out there in the mid-50s for Portland. High temperatures today just made it into the lower 60s. Our average for this time of year in Portland, 63. So we were a few degrees cooler than normal, 58 in Salem. You can see those high temperatures on the eastern side of the state, nice and warm, 79 for LeGrand. We're going to see temperatures there much cooler tomorrow in the 60s and upper 50s. So some cooler weather for folks in eastern Oregon. And tomorrow in the Portland area, we'll still have some lingering showers. The satellite picture shows that big area of low pressure moving from south to north and staying far enough offshore. It really didn't bring us the high-speed wind gusts we were expecting along the coast. We did see breezy conditions throughout the region today, but with this, not a lot of rain. The system that is moving on in right now is kind of falling apart as it treks eastward. So we will pick up some rain with it, but it's going to not amount to much. Cool and showery behind this front for tomorrow. We will be unsettled, but we'll get some sun breaks out there as well. And the next storm system, well offshore right now, is going to stay to our south. for Thursday and Friday. So this means after tomorrow's lingering showers, Thursday and Friday are looking dry, and so is the weekend. Now let's show you that cloud rain forecast. We have some rain out there for tonight, tapering off as we get toward morning, although we could still have some morning showers around the commute, and then again in the afternoon, but also the potential for some nice sun breaks in the afternoon. Lots of cloud cover on Thursday, but we do stay dry. A lot of folks asking, what's this winter going to bring? Well, we do have a weak La Nina developing. That means cool water in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. And how does that affect us? Well, here in the Northwest, it means a more active storm track. Keep in mind, this is a weak La Nina that is developing, but it means the possibility of a wetter winter in the Pacific Northwest, but drier, milder weather for folks in the southwest part of the country. So drought conditions expected there. Better chance for a wet winter here in the Northwest, and some good news for skiers and snowboarders. It looks like we'll get some nice snow on the slopes for this winter. East of the Cascades, cooler with rain showers, temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s. And west of the Cascades, temperatures also making it into the upper 50s and lower 60s, right around where we were today. Few showers, some nice afternoon sun breaks for tomorrow. And then things really dry out for Thursday through the weekend. Next chance of rain moves in as we get into Monday. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. I'll have another check at the end of the broadcast.
The 11 o'clock news is taking you to the edge.
A dangerous defect sent his pickup into high gear at high speed.
What was going through my mind was, I'm dying today. I'm gonna die.
What you need to know about a problem that could happen to your truck too. A kangaroo hops into danger when he decides to join a car race in progress, and it's all caught on camera. And Hollywood is buzzing about a sequel to a film that made the Oregon coast famous. We'll have the details on a possible Goonies Part 2 when we take you to the edge.
You're watching the 11 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Day Oregon.
First, live, local.
With your updated weather forecast.
Keeping you informed on overnight changes. Good Day Oregon. Tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
This is the best comedy.
You gotta love it.
These are the stars.
You're still number one.
You're manipulating me again, aren't you?
Yeah.
Back to you. Wednesday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Hi, Brad Tonkin here for Wilsonville Nissan. You know, with 10 acres of cars, we've got the Southwest covered.
Hi, Ed Tonkin here.
Oh, hey, Ed.
And our Ron Tonkin Nissan store on Northeast 122nd Avenue has a huge selection.
But if you could just push our two Nissan stores together, you'd have the largest selection of Nissan cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Northwest. That's how we keep our prices so low. Cool.
Ron Tonkin Nissan out 122nd Way in Portland.
And Tonkin Wilsonville Nissan out I-5 exit 286.
All for the love of cars.
I was diagnosed with cancer when I was a baby. The doctors were able to save me because of early tests, but too many kids in Oregon aren't so lucky. Measure 50 will make sure that they can go to the doctor.
Measure 50 is a fair and accountable way to provide health coverage for over 100,000 kids who need it now. The money promised to healthcare goes to healthcare.
The American Cancer Society and the Heart and Lung Associations all support Measure 50. I hope you will too.
Not all cats hate water. Check out this kitty who just can't get enough in tonight's viral video coming up on the 11 o'clock news. First, live, local.
The housing markets are experiencing a lot of changes, but our dedication to you will not. It only takes a 5-minute phone call or use our website to find the right financing option for you.